Greetings, elementary families. We are excited that we will be continuing to offer distance learning to many of our Sumner-Bonney Lake students and families. I'm Darla Offner, and I'm the Director of Elementary Curriculum. Thank you for taking a few moments to review the features of this instructional model. Through this video, I will provide you with a closer look at the new distance learning instructional model. I will specifically highlight some of the minor changes you will notice from how we started the year in distance learning and now. I'm also going to share a few key dates for you to make note of. This is a snapshot of our distance learning schedule at a glance. You should have received a PDF to this document in the email you received. This sample schedule outlines the different instructional blocks throughout the distance learning day. Much of this schedule will seem familiar to what your child is doing now, with just a few minor changes that I will talk about in a moment. I want you to note that lunches will continue to be available each day at designated school sites from 11:30 to 1 o'clock, free of charge. We'll start with an overview of the changes to the Monday schedule, since right now Mondays are mainly asynchronous and look different than the other days of the week. I just want to point out a couple of changes to this Monday schedule. So currently, your child has a Zoom on Mondays with their class. That will not be happening in the new model. Instead, we have included some additional opportunities to Zoom throughout the week, which I will go over on the next slide. You will see that on the left side, we are showing what the SEL Zoom looks like on Monday currently and what it's going to look like as we begin the distance learning model on January 19th. There are also now going to be office hours provided on Mondays for parents and students if needed, and currently we don't have office hours on Mondays. Asynchronous tasks will still be assigned by the teacher and will include independent tasks and online practice. Okay, now let's take a closer look at the Tuesday through Friday schedule. The times in the sample schedule show instructional blocks only. It's important to remember that your child's teacher will provide you with an actual schedule with specific Zoom times for these blocks. Currently, our teachers start the day with a whole class Zoom lesson for 60 minutes. Those Zooms include activities to connect with students and either a language arts or a math focus. In some cases, they teach all three within that hour, and at times that can feel rushed. We're moving to a more segmented approach that allows for students to receive synchronous Zoom instruction in both ELA and math each day from Tuesday through Friday. You will also notice in the box to the right that there will be an opportunity following those Zooms for students to stay on and receive additional support with the new learning or guidance on an asynchronous task that has been assigned. That's new. If we move down to win time, you'll notice that it has increased to 60 minutes. That time will be determined by student needs. WIN stands for What I Need. These blocks will be used to provide additional support for a variety of student needs, both socially and academically. Your child may not have a Zoom during WIN time each day, but they may instead have an asynchronous task that might extend their learning or even provide some foundational practice and support. Office hours, as you can see, have stayed the same, and your teacher will communicate exactly what that time frame is and how they will have you or your student participate if needed. Finally, our specialists will provide asynchronous activities for our distance learning students. There will be no specialist Zooms during distance learning days. Our specialists will be in buildings, full days working with students in person on Tuesday through Friday. Here are a few upcoming dates I want to make sure you're aware of. January 14th and 15th are transition days for kindergarten through 5th grade, and this will allow our teachers to prepare for hybrid A-B groups and our new distance learning groups. These days will both be asynchronous, meaning there will be no small group or class Zooms. Your child's teacher will provide asynchronous tasks for students on these days. January 18th is a holiday, so there's no school. On January 19th, this all begins. So in distance learning, there will be new class rosters and students will begin with their new class and their new teacher. It is also where our new K-5 hybrid students will be moved into their new class rosters. You should hear from your child's assigned distance learning teacher by the end of this week. The transition to in-person learning for kindergarten through second grade students in the hybrid model also begins on January 19th, with Group A returning to face-to-face instruction. Then if we fast forward to February 2nd, this transition to hybrid learning begins for our third through fifth grade students, and our A group will be face-to-face on February 2nd. Thank you so much for taking time to learn about the slight changes to the distance learning instructional model. Your child should be hearing from their teacher very soon.